How dare anyone try to overshadow solo leveling? That furious exclamation, echoed by countless devoted fans across online forums, sets the tone for an unprecedented clash in the realm of modern manhwa adaptations. Yes, we're talking about Omniscient Reader, the ambitious new project that dares to step out of the shadow of solo leveling and carve its own formidable legacy. Is it possible that this next juggernaut could outshine the beloved solo leveling phenomenon? And why are fans already divided? Today we'll peel back every layer of intrigue surrounding the live-action adaptation known simply as The Prophet, and explore whether this new wave of creative vision can truly match or exceed the hype. In this in-depth breakdown, we'll expose the rumored controversies about the film's visual effects, the uncertain global release dates, and the burning questions everyone has about this ambitious fantasy epic. Buckle up, because this journey promises more than a few jaw-dropping revelations. Have you been yearning for the next global hit to fill the void left by your favorite manhwa adaptation? Then you're in the right place. Today we'll tackle the single biggest development shaking up the world of webcomics and anime fans, the all-new live-action adaptation of Omniscient Reader. We'll dive deep into release windows, behind-the-scenes drama, and the overwhelming passion of fans who refuse to let their cherished series be overshadowed. In this episode, we'll uncover how the adaptation's approach to special effects and character arcs has ignited heated debates across social media, and why some insiders claim that Omniscient Reader might catapult fantasy storytelling to heights previously unknown. We'll also reveal exactly when we can expect this film to hit theaters, how it ties into the coming anime adaptation, and whether it can truly stand on equal footing with solo leveling. This is a story too riveting to miss. So, let's break it down step by step. We'll trace the origins of the new live-action project, examine how it balances faithful source material with cinematic changes, delve into the swirling storm of fan reactions, and shine a spotlight on the star-studded cast. We'll also discuss the short but explosive teaser backlash, the newly unveiled trailer, and how much we can read into these glimpses of the final product. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind to where this phenomenon began. It might stun you to learn that news of the Omniscient Reader live-action adaptation first surfaced quietly, overshadowed by the unstoppable hype wave that solo leveling had created. Some fans were convinced that no new manhwa adaptation could ever reach the storytelling heights or cultural relevance that solo leveling achieved. At first, it looked like a minor footnote in a sea of upcoming projects, but then came the official announcements. Latte Entertainment was stepping in with a full-scale adaptation simply titled The Prophet. That name alone sparked curiosity, and suddenly the project was thrust into the spotlight. People asked, could this be the rightful heir to solo leveling's magnificent throne? From its earliest chapters, Omniscient Reader garnered praise for unraveling a layered system of supernatural mechanics, cosmic threats, and ordinary characters thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Fans of the web novel and the subsequent webtoon rushed to champion its cause. Online debates quickly formed between those who found the narrative even more complex than its big sibling, solo leveling, and those who still believed solo hunter Sung Jin-woo's saga was untouchable. But these debates were nothing compared to the wave of excitement surrounding the live-action announcement. Soon enough, the chatter turned feverish, and social media lit up with speculation about who would be cast, how the iconic Starstream system windows would look on screen, and whether the infamous Dokeebi creatures would appear at all. Latte Entertainment wasted no time fueling the hype. In late winter, they dropped a teaser, a bite-sized preview that clocked in at barely under a minute. Audiences glimpsed fleeting shots of subterranean tunnels overrun by twisted monsters, close-ups of unreadable cosmic symbols, and the faint echo of voices speaking cryptic lines about a restored timeline. And then, for a split second, those watching could see a swirling, translucent screen labeled Starstream, the heart of the story's entire reality-altering premise. Within hours, online fandom spaces were awash with speculation. Did you see the color palette of the system windows? How do you feel about the actress in that cameo role? Was that the Dokeebi's silhouette spinning across the screen? Excitement soared, and yet, not everyone was pleased. Critiques arose from die-hard fans who scrutinized the snippet frame by frame. They spotted changes in costuming, subtle differences in how the main character's environment looked, and vague hints that the story might not start exactly at the beginning of the web novel's timeline. Furthermore, some people argued that the teaser's visual effects for the dokebi, an essential presence in the series, looked suspect at best. They worried the fearsome and otherworldly qualities central to the original text were overshadowed, leaving behind something that felt more cartoonish than terrifying. This uproar reached such a fever pitch that, for weeks, online forums were ablaze with heated discussions about the studio's creative direction. Still, Lotte Entertainment marched forward, determined to clarify the project's scope. They promised fans that the final film would not omit essential storylines. Indeed, they hinted that they had consulted with the original authors to keep the adaptation from straying too far. Then came the big reveal. A new trailer dropped unexpectedly, offering a more extensive look at the very elements fans had worried about. We saw the dreaded ground rats prowling through an abandoned subway, the starlit pop-up windows that appear whenever characters attempt to harness the cosmic power fueling their survival, and, at long last, a liminal glimpse at a dokebi revealing its sinister grin. But the biggest bombshell was the official release date. Lotte Entertainment confirmed that The Prophet would hit South Korean theaters in late July of 2025, a timeline that stunned many. Early rumors had placed a possible premiere much sooner, but it appears the project team wants additional time to refine visual elements, presumably to satisfy a demanding fanbase and ensure the adaptation lives up to the original's lofty ambition. Adding to the surprise, the film will roll out internationally, though the exact timeline for different regions remains uncertain. However, fans in North America were delighted to learn that a theatrical release is set for early August, a mere week after the South Korean premiere, bridging the usual gap that leaves international fans anxious. This release date announcement, though exhilarating, introduced fresh questions. Some viewers wonder if the extended production period is purely for polishing the special effects, or if behind-the-scenes drama has forced the film into a longer gestation. Unsurprisingly, the cast's star power added to the speculation. When it was confirmed that Ahn Hyo-seop, Lee Min-ho, and Jisoo had been brought on board to play critical roles, the conversation about potential scheduling conflicts began swirling. Could these high-profile figures, each with major commitments, cause production enhancements or creative realignments halfway through? Would the script accommodate their personal brand images, thereby diluting the darker, more immersive undertones of the source material? Early talk from certain insiders hints that balancing an ensemble cast this prominent is a tricky act. Each actor is known for distinct strengths, from comedic timing to romantic drama expertise. Meanwhile, the source material demands a gritty portrayal of cataclysmic challenges. The characters face unimaginable threats, bizarre cosmic trials, and personal transformations that push them to the brink. The question is whether the polished mainstream style often expected from these A-list stars can coexist with the raw desperation at the core of Omniscient Reader. In a sense, the production sets itself an enormous challenge: adapt a wildly beloved text without sacrificing the spirit that drew fans in to begin with. Interestingly, the debate over the adaptation's tone dovetails with a broader shift in how manhwa-based projects are produced. While the glorious success of the solo-leveling manhwa adaptation, both in animated and rumored live-action formats, laid the groundwork for more big-budget ventures, it also set a notoriously high bar for fan satisfaction. And that is where we arrive at the heart of the matter. Can Omniscient Reader truly measure up to these lofty expectations, or is it doomed to be labeled that other series that tried and failed to surpass a giant? So far, the marketing team insists it will not only meet those expectations, but exceed them, weaving a story that embraces the best of the fantasy genre while adding emotional layers not yet seen in adaptations of this kind. Curiosity also clings to the upcoming anime adaptation. Crunchyroll's long-awaited coverage indicated that Omniscient Reader would receive its own anime series, but the studio responsible was left a mystery. Although fans expected follow-up news at major conventions, official announcements remained elusive. Now, with the live-action film moving steadily forward, some question whether the anime will see potential delays or rework its narrative to align more closely with the cinematic events of The Prophet. Could the anime, in fact, serve as a companion piece rather than a direct retelling? The interplay between these two mediums might be the first of its kind, forging a cross-platform synergy that could expand the Omniscient Reader universe in ways fans can only dream about. But where does all of this leave viewers outside of South Korea? Many recall the heartbreak of waiting months, or even years, to see mainstream theatrical releases in local cinemas. Fortunately, Lotte Entertainment has emphasized that they are working to bring the film to international audiences quickly. Faithful readers in North America have already circled early August of 2025 on their calendars when the film is slated to hit US and Canadian theaters. A short wait, in the grand scheme of things, but it illustrates the global momentum behind manhwa-based stories. After all, the cultural impact of Solo Leveling proved that a well-executed South Korean fantasy can capture the hearts of audiences worldwide, to the tune of immeasurable fan art, discussion boards, and dedicated reaction channels. Now, if you're as excited as I am about the prospect of a deeper dive into cosmic systems, multi-dimensional crises, and the unique hero's journey that Omniscient Reader promises, then take a moment to give a friendly nod to the creators who brought us this far. If you believe these stories deserve even more attention, share this excitement with your circle of fellow fans. Spread the word, because every voice adds to the collective hype about such ambitious adaptations. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a positive comment somewhere if you're thrilled to see Omniscient Reader taking shape on the big screen. This is our first call to action, an invitation to show your support and ensure the momentum continues. For anyone just tuning in, let's cement our understanding of why this source material is so beloved. Omniscient Reader is not a fluff-filled fantasy romp. It delves into what happens when real people are forced to decide between their moral values and their survival instincts, carrying a vibe reminiscent of psychological thrillers. After a mysterious phenomenon starts materializing across Earth, showering unsuspecting citizens with system windows describing elaborate scenarios, each user must confront hidden aspects of their personality. Among them stands a character who happens to be the only reader of a neglected web novel that apparently foretells every calamity about to unfold. This intriguing premise subverts the typical hero format. Rather than relying on brute strength alone, the protagonist's knowledge becomes the ultimate trump card, reminiscent of a chess master toying with cosmic forces. Fans appreciate the story's layered approach to world building. Different arcs uncover new cosmic rules and boundaries, always raising the stakes. The threat scale is enormous, but what really cements the story's popularity is its introspective focus on friendship, sacrifice, and moral gray areas. The central cast grapples with difficult choices that challenge typical hero-villain tropes, forging alliances or breaking them under desperate conditions. The tension remains relentless, and each new chapter, or cinematic scene presumably, reveals an escalating confrontation that leaves audiences breathless. That is precisely why the live-action adaptation faces so much scrutiny. People demand that these dramatic highlights, especially the transition from mundane urban life to cosmic battleground, not be compromised in the name of mainstream appeal. This conflict between maintaining fidelity and appealing to broader audiences is particularly pronounced within the realm of special effects. On one hand, modern viewers have grown accustomed to near-flawless CGI, especially after recent blockbusters elevated the standard. On the other hand, capturing the ephemeral, borderline surreal qualities of in-universe magic systems is no easy feat. Early glimpses of the film's system windows, shimmering text boxes that function more like narrative players than simple add-ons, have so far received moderate praise. Many fans love the ephemeral design, describing it as both futuristic and arcane, but the dokebi creatures have proven more divisive. According to the expanded trailer, these small, horned beings alternate between comedic tricksters and deadly arbiters of life-or-death scenarios. Achieving that duality in live action calls for unbelievably skilled VFX artists, and not everyone agrees on whether the teaser footage did them justice. Yet, overshadowing all these debates is a single burning question: can the Prophet deliver where other manhwa adaptations have stumbled? We all remember the disappointment that followed certain half-hearted attempts to bring complex plot lines to the big screen. Whether it was rushed pacing, hollow characters, or low-budget visuals, there have been cautionary tales of excellent source material undone by lukewarm cinematic treatments. But Lotte Entertainment projects confidence. They have highlighted the multi-year development plan, the consistent collaboration with the original creators, and their willingness to address fan feedback. Indeed, the new trailer's improvements over the first teaser, including more refined monster designs, may be a small glimpse of how responsive the studio is to constructive criticism. Of course, with that responsiveness comes the burden of colossal hype. When you promise the world that you are forging a film worthy of the top-tier manhwa tradition, you have to deliver. Interestingly, some of Omniscient Reader's most vocal critics come from the ranks of longtime fans who have championed the story for years. They fear that cinematic adjustments could water down the essence of the original arcs. But others remain optimistic, pointing out that an adaptation can never be 100% faithful. The transition from page to screen requires a delicate balance of respectful homage and creative license. If done well, these changes can even enhance emotional beats. Scenes that once took chapters to play out might be condensed into a few powerful frames, giving audiences a thrilling, streamlined version of the story without sacrificing the heart of the source material. At this stage, many watchers look to Ahn Hyo-seop, Lee Min-ho, and Jisoo for clues about how the film will depict the tale's intense emotional core. Each actor enjoys an immense following, both domestically and internationally. Ahn Hyo-seop's proven range, from comedic roles to more brooding characters, gives hope that he can capture the complexity of a protagonist who wields knowledge as his greatest weapon. Meanwhile, Lee Min-ho's presence fuels wild speculation about what role he might claim. Is he a friend? An antagonist? A reluctant ally with complex motives? Jisoo, widely admired for her emotive presence and dramatic flair, might give the story the fresh perspective it needs to balance out the darker tones. If done right, these stars can transform from simple crowd magnets into indispensable pillars of the cinematic narrative. But let's take a breath for a moment and ask ourselves another question. What about that upcoming anime? The synergy between a live-action film and an anime adaptation is not a small matter. If the two mediums offer conflicting depictions of major storylines, fans might become frustrated or confused. Then again, if the anime strategically picks up from a later arc, building on the hype generated by The Prophet, it could form a cohesive experience, funneling new viewers from theaters to streaming services, and from streaming services back to the theaters for future sequels. The potential for synergy is vast, but so is the risk of narrative inconsistency. While few official statements have been made, speculation is rampant that the anime might focus on preludes or side arcs, leaving the towering set pieces to the big screen. Only time will tell. This entire saga, from questionable CGI teasers to unprecedented ambition, underscores the unstoppable rise of manhwa as a global entertainment force. No longer are these stories niche or confined to a handful of Korean readership circles. They command audiences worldwide, bridging cultural divides and generating immense buzz across social platforms. With Solo Leveling blazing the trail, it was almost inevitable that another epic would step in to challenge the throne. Now the stage is set. Omniscient Reader has the means, the star power, and the creative blueprint to stand shoulder to shoulder with the best the genre has to offer. The only question is how successfully it can harness its potential. If, in your heart of hearts, you believe that epic fantasy tales deserve the grand stage of cinema, and if the glimpses of cosmic windows, monstrous dokaibi, and emotionally fraught characters intrigue you, then add your voice to the conversation by sharing this buzz with fellow readers. Remember to subscribe or follow along on your favorite platform so that you never miss an update on the ongoing dramas and triumphs in Omniscient Reader's journey to release. After all, with a story as layered and ambitious as this, there's sure to be more behind-the-scenes revelations and explosive controversies yet to be revealed. This is our second call to action, a gentle reminder to stay connected with the avalanche of news bound to emerge as we inch closer to 2025. In conclusion, Omniscient Reader is heading into uncharted territory, building off the robust legacy that Solo Leveling helped cement in mainstream pop culture. It teases the possibility of surpassing its predecessor through a bold storytelling approach that merges existential dilemmas, surreal cosmic frameworks, and vigilante heroism. Fans cling to the hope that The Prophet will be the adaptation that overcomes pitfalls and ushers in a new golden age for manhwa-inspired cinema. There's no denying that expectations are astronomical and cautious optimism abounds. Will the final product dazzle us with mind-bending visuals and heart-rending performances, or will it falter under the weight of its own legend? All signs indicate that the creative team, cast, and producers are fully committed to delivering a blockbuster experience that respects its source while breaking new ground. The extended release timeline might indeed signal a commitment to quality rather than a sign of trouble. Even the controversies, while heated, prove that fans care deeply about preserving the soul of the story. Plenty of watchers stand ready to embrace the film if it can capture the raw terror and wonder that the original text conjures up so vividly. With official release dates set in stone, the countdown has effectively begun, and soon enough, we'll step into theaters, hearts pounding, ready to witness the moment Omniscient Reader leaps from page to screen. Until then, speculation and excitement will continue to swirl. We'll scour every snippet of footage, every interview, every promotional tie-in for clues about how the storyline unfolds. We'll debate casting decisions, highlight potential plot pitfalls, and dream of hidden arcs that could grace the sequel if the film thrives in box office returns. Most importantly, we'll keep sharing our love for manhwa with an ever-growing community of fans. After all, the explosive popularity of these adaptations stems from the passion and dedication of readers who see in them universal truths about humanity, courage, and the unbreakable bonds forged in adversity. And that might be the key essence behind Omniscient Reader's potential to shake the cinematic world to its core, its unwavering faith that an ordinary person, galvanized by the right story, can crack open new realities we never dared imagine. As you can see, there's no limit to the twists and turns that lie ahead on this epic journey. From the forging of cosmic alliances to nerve-wracking showdowns with demonic beasts, from quiet character-driven moments to planetary-scale catastrophes, Omniscient Reader promises an odyssey like no other. If the film truly captures this spirit, it will undoubtedly stand as a testament to the power of manhwa adaptations done right, vindicating the fans who never ceased believing that these stories belonged on the biggest of screens. So, mark your calendars, keep your eyes peeled, and prepare to witness what may be the next milestone in a rapidly evolving entertainment frontier. That's the tale so far, an underdog project that grew from whispers to roars, challenging even the almighty Solo Leveling for the crown of manhwa adaptation supremacy. Nobody knows the final outcome, but one thing is certain: with its eye on the cosmic horizon and its heart firmly rooted in grueling human trials, Omniscient Reader stands ready to make history. Whether or not it will succeed depends on countless factors, but if the communal fervor we've seen is any indication, this story is poised to transcend boundaries and touch hearts across the globe. Stay alert for the next wave of news, because this ride has only just begun, and who knows what revelations will emerge as the clock ticks down to 2025.